When I was 20 years old, I was studying marketing at the university. I seemed to be set for the world of business. I was having a blast, as pretty much every student has, right? And then one day, 9/11 happened. Now, 9/11 completely changed my life. Even though it was on the other side of the world, I'm based in Europe, it completely changed my life. So many things changed after that. The war on terror started. There were all of these invasions started. The language seemed to become way more drastic, and I just needed to take a break. I felt like I cannot focus on marketing and business. I felt like there are bigger things that I need to figure out as sort of, a human being on this planet, that I need to understand this world, I need to understand what's happening. All of a sudden, hell broke loose and I need to understand what's going on. So, cut a long story short, I spent the next 7-8 years studying all of that. I studied like sociology, politics, philosophy, psychoanalysis. I went very deep into that. I ended up doing a master's degree in England. I got a scholarship for that so I could go and study abroad. I pursued my PhD in psychoanalysis. And then at that point, I realized, I was pushing 30 at that point, and I spent like the better part of the decade studying this stuff and, putting business and marketing to the side. And one day I kind of like look around and I realized that there's something missing in my life. And that something was the business side, was the entrepreneurial side, and yes, also the financial side. I felt I had a really good grasp on like what's going on in the world, the social relations, the psychology of the people that makes them do certain things, the geopolitical situation. I felt I really understood all of this now. That kind of like my mission was complete in a way, but I felt I neglected the business side for too long and that I needed to go back to that. Now, at that point, I was already actually working online. This was around like 2005, something like this, 2007, and actually I was translating American movies, working from home basically, so I guess I was a remote worker before such a thing even existed. And I liked the work. I was doing it on the side. I made good money. I was focusing on my studies, and I certainly liked not having to go to the office, and it kind of felt like being my own boss, even though it wasn't my own company. Now, one day I got a poker show to translate, and basically I became hooked on the idea that you can make money online. This was an online poker show, that you can make money online playing poker, be your own boss, be financially independent, be location independent, play from wherever in the world you want to play. And I just became hooked, and I thought, okay, this is something I need to figure out. It's not exactly business as I studied and planned. It's not exactly marketing, but this needs to be a viable source of income. And if I can travel the world, see the world while I'm still young and have a blast doing it, I need to figure this out. Is this possible? Can you really make money online, not having a traditional 9-to-5 job, but doing something completely out of sort of the matrix, right? I was always attracted to things like out of that. I could never see myself in a 9-to-5 job. In fact, I never had the traditional 9-to-5 jobs. Even the student jobs and like the side jobs that I had while I was pursuing my PhD and my master's degree, they were always like a little bit, they were never in an office. It was always like more of a freelancer type thing and similar things. So basically, to cut a long story short, I got really good at it. I ended up becoming a poker pro. I was playing online for a living. I made a decent income out of it, and at some point I enrolled in a high-end online coaching program. So this was my first step into the world of online education. After a year, I was basically the head coach there. I then approached the owner because I saw there's unfulfilled potential in that company. It was producing great results for the students, but they were not really advertising or marketing their products at all. It was basically word of mouth and obscure niche little poker forums that people could find this programs on, but there was no real consistent efforts at marketing being done. So at that point, we made basically a deal. I started running the company, everything from operation to marketing to advertising. I was running Facebook ads and YouTube ads myself, actually doing it. We did not have like an in-house team or we did not work with an outside agency. So basically, I was kind of like a one-man band with a few team members to help out with like different things. Again, to make the long story short, we ended up crushing competition. We were the first ones to advertise on social media in the industry, the first ones to advertise, online poker, which was already like a little bit like on the borders of, regularity in terms of like Facebook and Google Ads policies, but we got away with it with some creative strategies, and basically we cleaned up. We expanded the offers, included like smaller online courses, memberships, and so on, not just like the $35,000 program, and really grew the company to basically the biggest player in the industry. All of this, of course, required me to go back to my roots in marketing, in business. I had to relearn some of the concepts, and even more, I actually started to study digital marketing. I went really in depth because, like I said, I was running the ads, I was running everything by myself pretty much, so I really went deep into that. And what I realized is as I was consuming lots of like online education and training programs and coaching programs and all of this stuff, I realized that there's a lot of other educational companies out there that are doing great work in terms of like producing results for the student, but they're in a similar situation as this company was when I found it, which is basically not doing much with marketing or social media ads at all. So at that point, basically it was time for me to, strike it on my own. I quit that company on good terms. I decided to create what's now called an online course agency, basically a solution for online educators to get their marketing done, social media ads, to really propel their message, to reach more people, have a bigger impact, and of course raise their bottom line. I just realized that there are so many other educational programs out there that need help, and I became really passionate about the space. So today I own the online course agency, OCA for short, and I'm 100% focused on helping online educators such as yourself go from 6 figures to 7 figures and hopefully multiple 7 figures, or even if you're still looking for that first 6-figure year, we've also helped people do that. But OCA is a family-run business. It's not a one-man band show. I did form this company together with my lovely wife, Elizabeth.
I got interested in digital marketing while Janez was working for the online poker training website, and he was practicing what he was learning about before. He studied marketing, but he also started to really learn more by himself through online courses, actually. So again, right, we're circling back to online courses and online education. So he was using his knowledge from online courses and putting them into practice while working for that company. And I really got hooked on digital marketing. I mean, it opened up something else for me. It opened up like a whole nother world. And I joined the team as well as marketing and operations support. After a couple of years, I got recruited by the #1 Google Ads agency in the United States. And I helped them set up and train their team of account managers. After being an account manager myself, it was a great opportunity. So I decided to take the challenge and help them reach the next level. Then I got pregnant and I took a break. And then I decided to take a longer break because I wanted to spend time with my daughter and see the first months of her life and how she's progressing, because as they all say, what is happening in these first months and years is incredible, and the time flies by very fast. And it is true. And I felt like my work there was done. And it was time for the next challenge. And so Janez and we opened the online course agency, the company of my own. So now we live fully location independent, and at the moment we live on an island in the Pacific, a tropical island, not to forget that. They grow their own bananas here and passion fruit. Can you imagine? I never thought I would live in a country where they grow that, and the bananas are quite delicious. So between the 3 of us, we have lived and studied in about 17 countries.
Our daughter is fully internationalized. I'm Slovenian, my wife is German. Our daughter was conceived in Malta, born in the UK, currently growing up in Portugal and speaking 5 languages. Now, none of this would have been possible without the online business space, and in particular without the online education space. So we are massive believers in this space. I think we are a part of a revolution. We want to participate. I think personally that the traditional ways of educating people are outdated, they're outmoded, they're not efficient. They need to be replaced by this new style of educating. Having gone fairly deep in the traditional educational system myself, all the way up to the PhD level, and to what I'm now, basically I call myself a PhD dropout because I quit my PhD. But I went very deep there, being very successful as well. But compare that to all the benefits and the improvements to my quality of life for myself as well as my family that the online education provided, it's really no comparison. I mean, the online education wins hands down. I cannot compare the benefits of both of them. Even though I was studying different things, it's still clear to me that the future is online. So at this point, this is more than a business for us. This is a way of life for me. We pretty much live online in a way, all of the things that we have in our life are only possible due to the online opportunities, online business, online education, and of course, digital marketing.
We want to give back to the community. We want to share our knowledge with other people and enable them to do the same. This is more than a business for us. This is a life. This is our life. It's part of our life. It's like a revolution because things are moving online. It's like a total new thing for many people. For us, it's like we are so familiar with it for years. We have been watching courses, helping others bring their courses to the right audience and help them increase their audience.
So that's why we do what we do. It might sound grandiose, but I think I do believe in dreaming big, and I do believe in building the educational system for the next generation. And I think all the small business owners, all the experts, the online educators out there doing their thing today are planting the seeds for the future generation. We don't know how that will look like. I hope it won't be dominated by a few big corporations like, I don't know, potentially Kajabi, Udemy, Skillshare, and things like this. I hope hope we'll see a plethora of like small business owners, diversity, not only offering like different types of knowledge, different approaches, but at the same time also still maintaining this opportunity for anybody with a skill and a passion to share their passion online, to make an independent income and basically achieve what we are so grateful to have achieved in the last few years. So I think this space, or at least I hope so, will only grow, will become even more creative, even more fulfilling, more efficient. And having a 2-year-old daughter, I am personally invested in that. I hope to see her have all the opportunities that I didn't have growing up. We were all just like still limited to the traditional way of educating ourselves. Whatever was in basically your corner of the world, that's what you took, right? Well, today this is completely different. I hope to see that grow to, realize its full potential. Who knows how far this can go. But we are super happy to be a part of this movement. We are super happy to help, other online educators expand their reach, claim their stake, build a strong business that's going to last for a long time, increase their audience, impact more people and so on. And in their way, basically participate in ushering this new era. Like I said, it might sound grandiose, but I do believe in dreaming big, and I do believe that this is going to change the world.
So if you want to be part of that journey and you want to share into the goodies and dream big, then get in touch, join the journey, join our tribe, and let's talk and sign up for the deep dive audit.